And we are live. Okay. Well, I didn't even realize that it would happen that quickly. Okay. Welcome, everybody. How are you doing? My name is Elijah. Come grab a seat, grab a cup of coffee, grab your favorite cup of tea, sit down, turn on this video, and let's just chat. I'm going to make this video. I'm going to try to make it relatively short here. Whole purpose of this video is to discuss the topic of the 5 stages of grief that we all must go through, and how truthers, people within the truth community, those who have their eyes open to the matrix, how a lot of people within the truth community are still not accepting the overall truth about the situation we're in. And I find that quite frustrating, to be honest, because if you're a truth seeker, you need to constantly align yourself to truth, no matter how daunting it is. And we need to dissect it, we need to analyze it, and we need to integrate it so we can properly navigate this human path. So let's discuss this, shall we? Thank you for being here, by the way. However few people watch these videos, I welcome you, and I'm so glad that you're here. I genuinely want to connect with people. I want to not only teach people about certain things, but I really want to bring inspiration and empowerment to people. So let's just get on with it, shall we? And I have a lovely cup of fruit tea here, which is wonderful. All right, so where are we at as a collective? Okay, surely you know that things are going downhill very fast, and what I'm going to get my point, I want to get my point across here at the beginning of this video. I am never going to be a fearmonger. I'm not going to be somebody who only advocates for doom and gloom or pessimism. That's not what I'm all about. I am always going to provide solutions. I am always going to instill in everything that I do with my creativity that we are going to go to the next world. That although this world is going to collapse, because it has to, and I'm going to get into this, we are going to persevere through these trials, and we're going to come out on the other side okay, and we're together going to create a beautiful world. I know this in all of my heart, and if you continue to stay with me, I'm going to unravel things over the next weeks and months, and I'm going to be here for you through this process. So understand that this world is going to collapse because it has to. And I'm going to get into this, okay? So first off, if your heart is aligned with Mother Earth, with Gaia Sophia, with the Divine Feminine, if you continue to search for the truth and you have a strong relationship with the Creator, your own personal relationship, you are going to be fine. We are going to be fine. All right, so I'm never going to lie to you like a lot of people are doing within the whole truth community of, oh, here's this savior who's coming and he's going to bring all these pedophiles down and there's going to be mass arrest. I'm sorry, but that's not going to happen. I wish it was going to happen. So let's go back, shall we? I'm going to share a story. I'm going to share a story about my navigation of truth and how that led me to where I am today. And I would love if you could even jump in the comments below and share your thoughts. What kind of spiritual awakening have you had? What kind of troubles have you experienced? How has that shaped your overall world perception to where you are right now? I would really love to hear that. So let me share a little bit about myself for this video here. All right. So I'm 30 years old. I was born in 1990, right? So when 9/11 happened, I was only 11 years old, right? I had no idea about anything. All that I knew growing up was I felt different from everyone else. I always saw all life is sacred. I was fascinated by nature. I questioned everything. Nothing seemed to make sense. I questioned religions, right? That took me all the way to college. All right, and I graduated college in 2012 with a bachelor of arts, and I studied biology. So my whole purpose in going to college was I want to study everything I can about nature. It fascinates me, and I want to do everything I can to work in the field of conservation to make the world a better place. Essentially, I never wanted to have some sort of a job making money. I always knew that my role in this world was to make it a better place, right? To help people remember who they are and who we are in relation to the planet, right? So I graduated, at the age of 22 in 2012. I didn't know about all the conspiracies of the world. I didn't know about Illuminati, the Draco. I didn't know about all the mind control. I just thought all of humanity was stupid. Right? I didn't think that there were these people in positions of government and religion controlling the world in this overarching control system. I just knew that everything was messed up and I wanted to make the world a better place. So I was always full of optimism, you see. I always had that hope. The hope of people could come around, that I can, with the right things, the right information, I could help them reconnect with nature. We can start to make a world that is more sustainable and more harmonious, right? I had that optimism, that hope, because we all need hope. Without hope, we're just walking blindly in this world without anything to ground us, like an umbilical cord to Mother Earth, right? So that takes me to 2013, a year after I graduated, right? I was doing biological research studying bees. I was at a wildlife refuge in the middle of nowhere, Texas, all right? And my whole world was shaken up. So there was one time when I was out there living alone doing my research. I lived in a trailer. One night, I was visited by star beings. Now, if you're coming to this video and you're already here at this point, I don't need to go into great detail that the universe is full of very intelligent beings who've been around for a long time, all right? The universe is vast. There are so many different races of beings in this universe. They're everywhere, and they're intimately connected with us, all right? I didn't fully know this at that point, but I was visited by these star beings. You see, they took me on their craft. They to really make it short, they basically rendered me unconscious. They have the ability to do that with the power of their minds. That's how powerful they are. They brought me onto their ship, and I have these memories of seeing them and them conveying information to me. And so I woke up a couple hours later as I was put back down into my bed on the trailer with all of these memories of what just happened. And I was even given a scar on my forehead. I have two little indentations, one from a child and one as an adult at the age of 22. Whole other story there, my friends. All right. And what happened was they did something to my consciousness to wake me up to greater things going on in the world. So immediately the next day, I started looking into star beings and abductions and all that, and I realized how many people around the world have had these sorts of encounters. I also opened my eyes to all the conspiracies that have been around for so long, and I got angry. I was pissed that I was deprived of this information my whole life by ignorant humans, my parents, friends, professors, everybody, and I got angry that I was deprived of this information. Now, I can't totally blame myself. I was only 22 at the time, right? I was just, even though I was not aware of all these facts, I still had a grounded, balanced approach to how I integrated with nature. I always knew that there was something wrong with the world, but I didn't know it was to this level of mass mind control. So I got angry, and I eventually ended up quitting that job, and I went to go live on an organic farm. I gave up everything. I thought the whole world was going to end in 2013. It didn't. And I had to readjust my life accordingly through a lot of pain. Because once you know the truth, there's no going back to the normal life. Now you see what is happening, and you have to adjust yourself accordingly. And you know, if you're watching this video, just how painful that is when you cannot communicate to your old friends anymore, your family. They won't listen to you. It sucks. It sucks. I know. These beings I encountered, I'm not going to go into great detail about who they are in this video. I'll probably leave that for another video. But to make it short, the beings that I know, even to this day, are who you might refer to as the great ancestors. They've been around the universe for millions of years, but they're responsible for this planet, for maintaining the harmony of our planet, protecting the planet, and seeding the planet with with beings of higher consciousness, us, so we can live. And there's a whole story about that I'm not going to get into here, but these beings are very wise, intelligent beings. They're very connected to spirit, and they're emissaries of Mother, the Divine Mother. They're very tall. They have these big, bright blue eyes. Very beautiful blue color. Shoulder-length blonde hair. They wear these white robes. A male and a female who are partners. They're the ones that I'm connected to, okay? And I know other people have encountered these beings too. I'm not going to say the name because it doesn't matter what name you give them, what star system they're from, but they do have an important role to play in this world. That's all I'm going to say about that in this video. All right? But it's necessary for me to get to my point here. So I realize after having these direct experiences that even people within the so-called truth community have not had, I've had a glimpse since 2013 of what is going to be happening. So I went from an eager young biologist who's very connected with nature, maybe not necessarily spiritual or spiritually aware, but I was on the path of being very optimistic, thinking I could change the world, I can educate humanity, we can create a world that is more in harmony with nature and with one another. I went from that place looking for forward to a career as a biologist, to now being aware of all these conspiracies all at once at the age of 22 that I had to rectify within my mind, that this world cannot be saved. I've known this since 2013, that this world cannot be saved. We are in that time period of, you call it the end times, whatever you want, the end of the age. Excuse me. Going into the age of Aquarius, whatever you want to call it. We are at that end point where after thousands of years of living on this planet, this is the time where we all have to make a choice. Are we going to choose Mother Earth, or are we going to choose this dark, satanic, matrix mind control system that is inherently destructive and aggressive against natural law? Two choices here. And those who make the right choice and align themselves to Mother will be going to the next world. I've known this since 2013. So I've known that no matter what we do in this world, it's not going to be enough, because most of humanity are in a place where they're not accepting the truth. They refuse to look at it. They're remaining in a state of ignorance. That's just how they are. And, some people have woken up over the years, and maybe even today, people are still waking up. But overall, the masses, no, they're glued to their own reality, this matrix reality, and they're not going to wake up. That is the cold, hard truth. And like I said, this is going to lead somewhere beautiful, but we have to let go of any chance of there being some mass spiritual awakening on this planet. That has already happened. This mass spiritual awakening has happened. And if you're watching this video, you are one of those people. We may be a very tiny percentage of humanity, but that is enough. That is enough to tip the scales of divine evolution, of balancing the dark energy with this light energy. So we are going to go to the next world. So ever since 2013, knowing this, I went from somebody who was optimistic to being frustrated that I can't live a normal life like everybody. I can't just get a job. I can't look forward to having a long career with decades and decades where I can try to help educate people. And it's frustrating when you know that amount of information and people won't listen to you. Even people within the truth community refuse to hear it. So, I've spent all these years doing my best to uplift human consciousness, sharing my creativity, trying to show people all of these conspiracies, these rabbit holes, and what's going on, but always getting bitter and frustrated towards humanity because they won't wake up. That I can't live a normal life. I can't get married and have children and just look forward to retirement. You know what I mean? I've had to know this for a long time. And I still had to deal with the struggles of society, of having to, get a job still and try to just go along to get along, right? So that takes me to where I am today. Finally, we're at the culmination of what I was shown all those years ago in 2013. We are approaching that critical time of choice now. Now, as I make this video, we are in that moment of choice. All right. As I said before, the choice, you choose Mother Earth, or you choose this dark satanic system that is not aligned with natural law, not aligned with the old spiritual ways. And it's going to collapse, and because it needs to happen. This is part of the process. Yes, the people controlling this world are the ones maneuvering this. They're the ones who are setting it in place. But they're only doing it because they know that we are in that spiritual time period that the Creator has set in stone. Thousands of years ago, it's been set in stone. Here, where we're at in 2021, or even the last several years, this is when I'm stopping this. Where there's going to be new energies coming into this world, so those who cannot tune into this energy, they're going to be wasted away. And those who do are going to be given the chance to go to this next world. And I'm going to go into greater detail about that as well. So stick with me as we go through this process, as I create these videos. So that's where we're at right now. And I know a lot of people within the truth community have been so optimistic, which is great, trying to tell people like, hey, let's keep on spreading the truth. People are getting curious. They're waking up. We just have to keep at it. And so a lot of these people, which is great, have been doing all this work over the years, believing that we still have many years left. And while I commend them for doing this work, and it is necessary for us to continue to keep this light energy active, people are now finally starting to see that the masses are not going to wake up. There isn't enough time, and that's okay. This is how it is meant to be. So that's where we get into the stages of grief here. All right. We all know these, right? Let me go ahead and pull it up. Stages of grief. Denial. Anger. Bargaining is 3. depression is 4, and then acceptance. When you go through the grief process, you have to go through all of these steps before you finally reach that ultimate stage of acceptance. Most people now forget the masses. They're ignorant to everything, and they're going to remain in a state of denial. That's just how they are. It is what it is. But even people within the truth community are in the state of denial, the stage of denial. They refuse to understand that we don't have much time left, that there is not going to be a big, massive spiritual revolution. There's not going to be mass arrests. There's not going to be full disclosure. That's not going to happen. It's only going to be people lured into this trap with the promise of disclosure or whatever, but you're going to be led into a trap that keeps you in the matrix, and you're not going to be a part of the people who end up going to the next world, which is going to happen very soon. And I'll get into more details about that in another video. So most truthers are still in that stage of denial. They think that there's still many years ahead of us. They believe that we can still wake up humanity, that the world can be changed. This world cannot be changed. It can't. It's done. It's slated for extinction. It's done. You have to let it go. It's done. All right? There's nothing any of us can do to alter this system to make it work, because it has a foundation built on lies, deceit, aggression, manipulation, everything, all of the horrible things. Competition. You cannot create a system in harmony with a society in harmony with nature and with natural law, in alignment with the Creator's will, when you have a foundation like that. You need a new foundation in which the tree of life can grow and flourish. And that is what we're going to have in the next world. It's going to be a blank slate. And I don't mean that in a horrible, destructive way. Like, we're going to have all the information we need to rebuild. We're going to have the resources. We're going to have the food. All right, we're going to be fine. So people are still in the stage of denial, thinking that we could change this system. You need to get out of that. Continue to spread truth, shine your light, encourage, keep doing that, of course, and that's what I'm trying to do. But just know that this world is coming to an end. It has to collapse. This is part of divine law. It's going to collapse because it cannot sustain us any longer. You need to get out of the denial. All right. Next, and I had to go through this process back in 2013 when I realized this. I was in that stage of denial. Maybe there's something I could do. And I did do something, by the way, to tip humanity in favor of this path, but I'm not going to go there. But I was in that stage of denial. All this can't be true. Maybe we can have a big spiritual revolution. Let's just all group together. It's just not going to happen. So you go through the next stage, which is anger, right? Anger. You start to get angry, and I certainly got angry. I got angry that I was lied to. I got angry that I wasn't able to live a normal life, looking forward to a whole life, having fun, finding happiness, finding a partner, maybe even have children one day. All gone, ripped away from me, and I had to deal with it. And watch everyone else who didn't know what I knew then just go ahead and live their lives, find jobs, have kids, and whatever. So you get angry, and that's okay. You have to go through this stage. It's okay to get angry, but you have to progress further. You get angry that you can't live a normal life, that this world is coming to an end, that people won't wake up. It's natural to be angry. It's natural to be anger. It's natural to be angry. The next stage is bargaining. All right, what can I do? If I do this, maybe everything will work out. I made this mistake, but maybe I can go in the past and change something when you know that you cannot change the past. Bargaining. There's no bargaining with God when it comes to this matter. This is set in stone. This is a part of natural law. This collapse has to happen because it was set in stone. That's why all of the prophecies were written so long ago, telling people this is going to happen if you continue this trajectory we're on. And we have continued on this destructive trajectory. So you move on to the next stage, which is depression. I experienced debilitating suicidal depression for 7 to 8 years since 2013, which is very much related to me learning about all of this. Suicidal depression. That I couldn't live a normal life like everyone else. Nobody's listening to me. I've had these mystical experiences, these experiences with these star beings, and nobody's listening to me. Nobody is understanding me. I was in a state of suicidal depression. I didn't want to be in this world anymore. Why should I have to be in this world doing my best to wake people up when they won't listen? And that depression taught me a lot of things. It taught me a lot about the art of perseverance, of divine healing. It taught me the power of empathy and sympathy and compassion for anybody who suffers from depression or anxiety or anything. So naturally, you are going to get depressed when you hear this information. But then if you process this all together as a truth seeker, you move into the next stage of acceptance. You have to accept that this world is slated for extinction. We, after thousands of years of having the chance to modify our collective and individual behavior and create a different reality, we did not do that. Thankfully, there is something set in place for all those people who have woken up to these spiritual truths and have tried to wake people up with all this frustration. We are going to go to the next world. We are being selected by divine beings, by God, by Mother Earth, Gaia Sophia, and we're going to go to the next world. And that you have to reach this stage of acceptance. Now, even if you're not going to be one of the people who go to the next world, you still need to reach a state of acceptance. That there's no way you can modify this system, that it is on its way out, that everything happening right now is to end this world as we know it. And if you choose to follow this path, or you don't believe in Mother Earth, you're not connected with Spirit, well, you're not going to be a part of the path where we're going to go and create a beautiful world. But at least you reach the stage of acceptance, so I'll give you that. All right? So that's where we are. That is where we are. Do not be disheartened here. If you truly love Mother with all of your heart, you want to preserve the sacred feminine, you know that we can create a world that is more harmonious with natural law, with the natural ecosystems. You know that in your heart. You are going to receive that information when the time comes of where to go, when to go, and what to do. And it's going to be happening very soon here. So take heart in that. I know you have to go through these stages of grief. It sucks that a lot of our loved ones who are not waking up and seeing what we see, they're going to have a very destructive ending. But they're making that choice. Everything comes down to free will. They are making that choice, and we are making our choice as well. There's nothing we can do about that. We cannot change people's minds for them. They have to put in the work themselves, and they're not doing it. So at the very least, when this world ends, all of humanity is going to be free. Even the ones who don't go to the next world, at least they'll come out of the matrix. They'll be able to go back to the spirit realm, process their life experiences, and they'll go elsewhere. But they're not welcome in the next world. There's only going to be a certain amount of people, human bodies, going to the next world. There aren't going to be places for people to incarnate into. So a lot of these people understand that they're new souls. There are billions of people on this planet. That means, especially in the last 50, 60 years, with all this uptick in the population, that is new souls coming straight from source, and they've only had one lifetime, or right now, this is their only lifetime. So they're entering this battlefield, and they have no idea what they've gotten themselves into. So that's why they're not waking up. You have to accept this. All right. And this is a beautiful thing. This is a new opportunity to go to a new world without this draconian influence. No Matrix, no Illuminati, no demonic influences, just us with everything we're going to need to create a beautiful world. I'm so looking forward to it. I've gone through these 5 stages of grief, and I've reached the state of acceptance, and I'm living every day in this current chaotic world with inner peace. Because I've done this work, I know where I'm going. I'm going to the next world. And I'm so looking forward to it. I'm fine. I'm doing great. Everyone else around me is collapsing, and that is how it's meant to be. Only those who are strong in spirit, who maintain their connection. Ooh, my voice kind of had an inflection there. Only those who are aligned with the spirits, with Mother, with the Creator, you are going to be able to get through these times. And just stay with me. I'm going to be here to encourage you along the way, but I wanted to make this video on the stages of grief. Most people within the truth community are still in denial. This world is done, and I'm looking forward to the next world. I'm looking forward to sharing these experiences with you. I thank you so much for being here. Please stay tuned. I love you very much. You are beautiful and amazing and powerful, just the way that you are. And you are going to be fine if you love Mother and if you support Mother. So thank you for being here. I love you very much. And I will see you in